Can't tell you how awesome it is to come up here and be able to be the first person up, really to kick off the 2024 season, and really signifies the media days signify the start of college football, and thanks to Jim Phillips and the job he does for the ACC and working to make football a priority in the league, and the tireless days and days he puts on it. Thanks to President Angel Cabrera and our athletic director Jay Batt. For really working, working every day, and to put Georgia Tech in a position to be competitive, and giving us the resources needed to be competitive and to go on our quest to be a championship football team, competing at the highest level in all of college football. It goes without saying the amount of work that they've put in, especially here in the last 6 months. So it's about so many people other than just the ones that are standing up here today. The new ACC, where we'd like to welcome 3 new teams. When you have Stanford, Cal, SMU, teams that are really expand the geographic footprint of the ACC and make it an even more dynamic league. When you look at the landscape, the cities that we play, that we're able to travel to. And when they made the expansion and when they were going through and to select teams that didn't jeopardize or didn't conflict the integrity that this league has, not just on the field of play, but also in the classroom and from an academic standpoint. The staff we have at Georgia Tech, the men that we've been able to put together on our staff, they're great teachers, they're great recruiters, a strong footprint in this league and in this region of the country from a recruiting standpoint. But more than anything, they're good men, and they're good mentors, they're good leaders, they're good teachers, and they're good role models for these young men we have here with us. And with that being said, the 3 guys that we have here today, just really encourage you guys to get to know their story and to know those guys, because those 3 guys they're outstanding, and they're a sign of what is great in college football. And I'm sure so many other schools and the young men they bring with them are the same thing in the same way, and the stories they have to tell and the stories they have to share. That's what's great about college football, and that's why we love college football. Then the final thing I want to say is I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Dr. Homer Rice, and he was passed away recently. He'd been athletic director at Georgia Tech for many years. Meant so much to so many people all across the board, from being a coach to an administrator. 98 years of impact he's had on people. That really the fabric of so many programs he's woven into, and what we do with our 5th quarter program, for life after football is really all part of something he started with the total person concept back many years ago. So to him, to his wife, his family, Coach Rice, you'll be missed. So
it's a big important step. If you don't have any continuity, if you don't have a strong culture, if you don't have a good locker room, when things happen, when adversity happens, your team's going to struggle. But I'd say we're in a good spot, good culture, good locker room, and I'd say going to that first game, we're coming guns blazing.
And what I didn't realize was just how much making that decision to come to Georgia Tech could change my life. It gave me the opportunity to be challenged not only on the football field but challenged academically. It allowed me to grow as a young person. I came in at 17, I had not turned 18 yet, leaving home, and then by the time I left Georgia Tech, the things I'd learned, and you don't really realize those things as much when you're in school or when you just graduate, but the lessons I learned, the lessons about discipline, and how to learn about discipline, because I messed up. I made mistakes, I screwed up. Whether it be making a mistake, in my personal life or socially, or making a mistake on a converted first down against North Carolina on a Thursday night in 1997 and getting a 15-yard penalty. Probably kicked us out of field goal range and cost us the game. You learn those lessons. You learn lessons about toughness, how to become tough, mentally tough. You learn lessons how to figure things out. It taught me how to lead. It taught me what a leader is. Taught me how to lead this football team. A lot of the lessons I use today that are lessons I learned in that 25 years ago, 25, 30 years ago.
Jamal, from the podium, If it's a crucial third down situation, would you rather catch for a first down or run for a first down?
That's in Coach Faulkner's hands. Whatever play he decides. Oh, excuse me. We will be running that ball, and it will be a first down. It will be a first down, for sure.
The exposure that you get is great for these young men. It's great for these guys to be able to have the exposure on a national level, to have the exposure to people to see them, and that's what it's about. I mean, that's why they changed these rules several years ago in terms of NIL, the name, image, and likeness, is to create exposure for these young people. All right, and the more times you get to be on these stages, the more exposure you've created for these young men and for the program. But as far as one game being bigger than the other, there is no game bigger than one. You know, they're all the same. Every game's important. You only get so many games to play a year, and winning's hard. Winning's a hard thing to do, and so you know, to look at one game bigger than another, it's not the way we go about things.
So that we, Coach, before we send it into the room, if we could from the podium, curious, you've been involved with the ACC since enrolling at Georgia Tech back in 1996. So that's nearly over 30 years of your lifespan that you've had a touch with this league.
I'm not that old.
What does the ACC mean to you?
So, man, that's an easy one. Yeah, it's 28 years now. 28 years ago. Look, I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, right? And you know, growing up, I never realized how much my life would change, you know, because of the opportunity to come to play at Georgia Tech and to play in this league. You know, when you grow up in Birmingham, you really only know one thing, and that's college football. There's no pro teams. You don't know pro football. College football is the top of the top, and you know that's where my passion for this game really was born. Was there, and being involved in it. And what I didn't realize was just how much making that decision to come to Georgia Tech could change my life. You know, it gave me the opportunity to be challenged not only on the football field but challenged academically. It allowed me to grow as a young person. I came in at 17, I had not turned 18 yet, you know, leaving home. And then by the time I left Georgia Tech, the things I'd learned, and you don't really realize those things as much when you're in school or when you just graduate, but you know, the lessons I learned, the lessons about discipline. And how did I learn about discipline? Because I messed up. You know, I made mistakes. I screwed up. You know, whether it be making a mistake, you know, in my personal life or socially, or making a mistake on a, you know, converted first down against North Carolina on a Thursday night in 1997 and getting a 15-yard penalty. Probably kick us out of field goal range and cost us the game. You know, you learn those lessons. You learn lessons about toughness, how to become tough, you know, mentally tough. You learn lessons how to figure things out. It taught me how to lead. It taught me what a leader is. Taught me how to lead this football team. A lot of the lessons I use today that are lessons I learned in, you know, that 25 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. So, I mean, we all know what the ACC is, and people talk about the ACC as an academic league and what it does from the academic standpoint. But you know, at Georgia Tech, we don't allow that to be the only thing that defines us. You know, we're not a group that wants to be defined by one thing alone. You know, at Georgia Tech, we want players that want to come in and have aspirations of being not just great football players, right, but being great in their life after football as well, right? Being able to be, as we say, a first-round draft pick and a CEO. We want people to be able to reach both of those goals in life, to be able to have those aspirations, right? You know, Georgia Tech and the teams in this league, they allow you to do that. And just look, I mean, if you look across the board, and I did this last night. I think it's seven coaches in this league actually graduated from ACC schools. 7 coaches, 7 head coaches graduated from ACC schools. So, you know, that says a lot there, and the fact of, you know, being able to be like we said, not just a first rounder, but a CEO, a president, a head football coach, you know, to learn the lessons to do those things. And we take pride in that. And those are all things that I've learned over the years, and what is important and what makes it important. And look, I've been through, for all those years, I've seen everything there is to see about this league and what's great about it, from, you know, the traditions and the rivalries and the coaches and, the former players and what they've done in life. I mean, our kicker, David Frakes, when I was playing, I mean, he invented the camera on the iPhone. I've got another friend of mine, Robert Withers, who who played at Boston College. I mean, he founded Wheels Up and Wheels Up. You're talking like major corporations that these people have done, are running companies they've founded, all right, as well as all the great football players. I mean, you think back to the legends in coaching when I was just as a player. I mean, Coach Bowden, Coach Brown was a legend back then. He's still coaching. So, just the amount of history that goes along with it.
The rivalry with the team down the road, definitely is, I don't know how to even put it, but we know how we want to beat them every year and what we need to do to beat them every year. So this year, we're going to definitely try to get that job done, and hopefully we come out with the victory. Really, for going into sophomore and junior year, more mature. I knew what I wanted to get done, how to do it. Basically, we're just taking a step, growing into that leadership, starting to speak up, be more vocal around the team, and also handle business on the field. So.